Welcome back, welcome back. We had slight technical difficulties, but we are definitely here, and we're waiting for Sis Erica to join. Meanwhile, again, we want to remind you all that the She's in Atlanta brunch is coming up.
Yes.
We have less than 2 weeks.
Less than 10 days now. Less than 10 days.
Less than 10. Woo.
Yes.
Are y'all ready?
We cannot wait for the fellowship. For those of y'all who got y'all tickets, man, we're, definitely just grateful, that you all are wanting a fellowship and build on the sisterhood. So just all praise to the Most High. And if you didn't have a chance to get your tickets, no worries. We will be back, Most High willing. So just want to throw that out there at y'all too.
Yes, of course. We're going to try to make this a quarterly thing where we're always keeping our sisters bonding. We're always keeping you guys building these bricks. We're always keeping you edified, encouraged, just a good, warm, loving feeling amongst the sisters. That's what we're trying to create.
Absolutely. All praises. So we're going to give it a few more minutes, y'all. Sister Erica is going to tap in, and we're going to let a few more sisters hop in as well. And then we're going to get started. So, yeah.
All praises, all praises.
Shalom, sis. I see sisters coming in to the chat. All praises.
All praises. And if you all happen to see Sister Erica, go ahead and tell her to jump in and join us really quick. Shalom, Sis Ariel, Sis Yael. Shalom, shalom, my beautiful sisters. There's Erica. Shalom, sis. All right, so we're at Sis Erica. Are y'all ready?
All praises.
Oh, praise
Hello.
Welcome. We are so honored to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here.
All praises. All praises. Is the connection good, sis? Can you see us and hear us fine?
Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
All praises. So we're going to let Sis Erica introduce herself. We want her to give you guys a little bit about her background, let you know how far and long she's came in this truth, how long she's been in this truth, and just some other little things she wants to mention about herself. So Sis Erica, whenever you're ready, let them know a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Erica Atarah Stevens. I've been married for almost 2 decades to my husband. We have 4 kids. We also started a vegan catering business in Arizona, which is where I am. What can I say about myself? I've been in the truth for about 7-8 years. About as long as I've had Bear Sheet, the business that we have. So maybe a little bit longer than that I've been in the truth. It's been a roller coaster, but we're still here. We're still standing. We're still obeying the law, statutes, and commandments as much as we can, and we're doing that along with building a thriving business the way that Most High wanted us to. So that's what we're doing. All praises.
All praises. Well, one thing that I adore about Sister Erica is the discipline she has with eating right. So that is a growing thing. We have to get there, especially Sister Elisheba. But of course, I want you to let us know, was that journey difficult for you? Like, how did you get into that journey of changing your diet completely into what it's supposed to be?
Well, it was actually, I didn't go the route that everybody else does. We basically were moved by the Spirit to move in this direction. So our oldest daughter had mental issues. She was in and out of hospitals. We dealt with that for about 2.5 years before we were in the truth. So this was back when we were in Christianity and all of that. And trying to put the blood of Jesus on her and, just putting her, and none of that worked. We even went to doctors. She was hospitalized about 7 or 8 times, I want to say. And I just got fed up. I just recently started in the truth about a year, I would say. And maybe not even a year, maybe 6 months. And I was with a sister group. And we were actually, studying Torah and all of that. And one of them told me to get her off meat and dairy. And I was like, okay, what else are we going to eat if we're not eating meat and dairy? I can't eat salads for the rest of my life. Like, what else is there to eat? So she explained, there's more to it than that. So we went and we started studying. I have a daughter that's in culinary. She was homeschooled at the time, but she really, really loved cooking. So me and her we started following Dr. Sabi. We started that route at first. So when she got out of the hospital, the last time we had a plan. I was like, okay, Most High, you gave me this child. I'm giving her back to you. Tell me what to do to fix this, because I don't know. I've tried everything that the world tells you to do, medication, all of that. None of that worked. And I'm just tired. I need peace. So help me. Help me help your child, because I don't know what to do. So just stuff started lining up. It just, we did a detox. I did it with her. I was on 14 different medications for seizures, migraines. I have nerve damage, all kind of stuff. And lo and behold, in helping her, it also helped me.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, for 2.5 years, she had no issues, none at all. It totally reversed itself. Yeah. And I've stayed the course. My A1C, because I had diabetes, has remained no higher than 5.2 on its own. My seizures have gone away. I have an occasional migraine, but that's mainly if I stress myself out too much. So I try to stay calm, and I use meditation and all kind of stuff to keep that under control. But yeah.
Okay, so definitely a lot of I want to just say Hebrew. A lot of people who know their Hebrews, and also a lot of people who may not necessarily have the information just yet. But it's something on the spirit that the Most High is really giving us right now to really be more conscious about what we are putting in our bodies.
Absolutely.
And then when we're thinking about the food being the medicine, that's so powerful. I guess I really just want to ask, how was it for your daughter to transition? I know you probably was trying to let her know, this is going to be beneficial for you, but just in the mind of a child, how was that for her to transition to, from chicken nuggets to actually eating, other foods?
At first it was a little challenging, because if you've ever been on the alkaline diet, it's very restrictive on what you can and cannot digest. We still do a lot of alkaline stuff, but we also do a lot of plant-based and vegan stuff. We absolutely stay away from soy, tofu, wheat gluten, all of that stuff, because my system cannot break it down. In the beginning, I kept having allergies, couldn't figure out what it was, and that's what it was. So we've tried different things to where we've gotten to the point where we can master making chicken nuggets from stuff like jackfruit or different stuff like that. So we're not missing out on really anything. She didn't miss any meals. We still make the same soul food. It's just with more soul in it. And we just we change what we ate. Instead of it killing our soul, it's actually uplifting it. So we just make sure whatever we eat, we can also plant. So we have a garden that we've been growing for about 2 years, and we take stuff directly from our garden and cook it. And that's what I teach a lot of my students to do.
Well, I know Sis Ellie got some questions about that garden.
Oh, well, what I was actually about to touch base on is that was a real good point that you made. Especially when you're involving kids in that lifestyle, you don't want to take stuff away without kind of like replacing it with something, especially chicken wings, cauliflower, jackfruit, things of that nature. And that's also what I wanted to mention about Sis Erica. She's also created a way to let us know how to make these types of dishes, and the little creative ways that she learned to tweak and take out the things that are bad and replace them with the things that are good. Because I personally have her cookbook, and it is amazing. Like, I love everything that's in there. It is amazing, and it's nothing too difficult. And the plus side of that as well is she has classes as well, free classes For those that did purchase the cookbook, she teaches us how to do these meals, because if you're like me, you don't know what we're doing.
Mhm. Yeah, and I took a lot of the guesswork out, because I know with our people, we don't like something that's too, we've been very microwaved. We want stuff instantly. So I knew when I made the cookbook, I had to take a lot of the guesswork out, make sure that you guys aren't having to buy this enormous grocery list that you're never going to use again for one meal. All the recipes sort of glide into those same ingredients, so you're not wasting anything. I wanted to make sure that you guys weren't wasting nothing, because, like the Most High, you don't waste, and it's all about decency and order. And I wanted to make sure that that was the point I was getting across to you all.
All praises. So, sis, what would you say that, your own desire to be creative with your household and, have creative meals, is that what prompted you to do the cookbook?
I think my creativity came because I wasn't allowed to be creative when I was growing up. So, yeah, I was raised in a home that was black and white. You use black and white crayons. You do not color outside the lines whatsoever, because we have an image to maintain. So there was no kind of creativity. Whereas now at Bare Sheet, I'm like, I get to be creative. I get to be me. I get to be myself. I get to show people what I can do, and incorporate, them into doing it too. Because we're colorful people. We're not black and white. It's a whole world of color. And and we miss that when we're growing up in those kind of strict environments that were not very conducive to the child that I needed to be raised to be. So as an adult, I'm stepping out of that, and I'm loving it.
Now, when you mentioned that as well, that's something good. I know it's kind of like, well, it is the subject, but it was kind of stepping away from the food aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
How did growing up in a household that was totally different from what you're trying to implement into your children now, like, how was that like a pro and a con? Like, how was that, oh, I would never do this to my children? And how was that something that made you also like, okay, this is something that I want to, add into my upbringing with my kids?
Growing up in that environment, it did teach me a lot of structure. I do a lot of stuff with a spirit of excellence, or it's not done. Like a lot of people wanted me to, build this company, where brick and mortars and all of that. And I'm like, nope, we're going to get this done first. Then we're going to move to that. Then we're going to move to that, because I want to make sure that we have our customer service down. I want to make sure, because that's one thing that I hear a lot about Black businesses. Customer service sucks. And I don't want to hear that, like, ever. So I wanted to make sure that we had that down pat. And growing up in that environment, I think helped with that. But the con to it was I wasn't able to be myself. Whereas with my kids, I homeschooled them for 10 years. And my last one's graduating in May with honors. They all have scholarships. They all graduated with high honors. So I wanted to make sure I, created an environment for them where they were able to be themselves. So like their high school years, we didn't do like the normal, arithmetic, math, English, whatever. We actually went to the college, did a walk-in tour as high schoolers to see what they wanted to be. And then we actually bought the curriculum for those subjects. And that's what they studied for their high school year. So when they came into college, so that
you know what, this is a really great point that you're making right now, sis, because I can say I have like more than a dozen sisters who are homeschooling and may have been homeschooling for years, but they are still scratching the surface. If we're talking about from pre-K to 12th grade, or your child may be 13 years old, so maybe just in the 9th or 10th grade, but not even really in that realm yet of the college or getting prepared.
Right.
I think sometimes in the truth, we don't necessarily talk about college or that pre. And I know I'm not even going to touch on that, because that is each to each his own with it, right?
but just that preparation for the option if the child does want to continue education. Can you shed light on some other tips that that may be beneficial for sisters who are getting into that teenage aspect of trying to make homeschooling still interesting?
Basically find out, because you know your child. You know their strengths and their weaknesses more than anybody else. And what I did was, I did not want my kids to go to college, if that's what they decided, and flip-flop between majors and waste all that money trying to figure out what they want to be. So what we did was, we tried them out in several different areas, and we had 4 years to do it. So, Malia, you want to be a culinary, you want to be a chef? Okay, let's do it. And I put her in the kitchen, and, you know, I was like, make this, make that. And she rose to the occasion. And she's still talking about it to this day. She's still in college. And actually, Bare Sheet is a business that we're growing for her. So when she graduates, it's going to be her business. So she, you know what I mean? So same with my boys. One wanted to be in computers. We went and got everything computer related. We also signed them up for different internships. And there's stuff you can do. And a lot of it is free because they're in high school. A lot of it is very free, very discounted. And you can also send off for different institutes and say, hey, I have a child that's interested in XYZ. Can you send me some materials? And they will send it. So half of their curriculums were free. I didn't pay for them. The only thing I paid for was the college level books that we went to the bookstore and got. That was it. They went to the labs for free. They got to, one of my daughters wanted to be in medicine. She went and watched them dissect a dead body. That's her thing. I'm like, good for you. I drop you off because I'm not going in there. But most I will tell you, you know what I mean? So just that encouragement, and figure out what your child needs, because everybody tries to do homeschool like they do public school, and that doesn't work. If it worked, everybody would be doing it. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. There are challenges, but you know, you have these kids. I mean, they're yours. So you have to be up for the challenge and make your homeschool as unique as possible. We rarely were at home for homeschoolers. My kids did service hours. They did over, let me see, over about 1,200 service hours each through their high school year. They got scholarships for that. That's free money. And all they did was they mowed lawns for senior citizens for free. I mean, whatever they wanted to do, I was like, as long as it ain't illegal and nobody's dying, let's go do it. And that's what we did.
I mean, I'm laughing, but I really hope sisters are taking notes, because these are big jewels you're dropping. A lot of us, we give up, you know, around middle school, high school. It's really easy to do elementary school and, you know, with homeschooling. But like Yanni said, when you get to that middle school and really high school level, some people are like, oh, whoa, this is like a total different round. So the nuggets that you're dropping, especially the free, you know, Israel loves some free stuff.
And I really enjoyed them in high school more than any other level, because I got to see the fruit of my, you know, my journey. I got to see where we ended up. And I was like, wow, I really did that. Because there were some days I was like, look, I'm about to put y'all back in public school. Y'all ain't listening. And when I used to threaten that all the time. And then they're like, wait a minute, we got to get up at 6 and go catch a bus. Nah.
Yeah.
Because Alabama was cold. It was cold in those early mornings. So every now and then I have to, you know, hint that out. Like, you want to get on the bus at 6 in the morning? No, ma'am. Okay, are we going to do our math today? Yes, ma'am. And, you know, using like Kamali Academy was key, because he has this mental math program that is awesome. It basically teaches them how to do math from their fingers. And I mean top math, and it goes up. Elephant Learning was another one. It teaches math. You can do a whole year of math in a matter of months, and it's all playing on the computer. Khan Academy was another one that's free. And Elephant Learning can be free. You can get it through a scholarship. So you just basically apply that you need, you know, assistance paying at $10 a month or whatever, how many kids you have. They'll actually give it to you for free. So Yeah, so there's a lot of free services that got my kids their SAT scores. I think the lowest one we had was a 26 ACT, and the lowest one was 26. Yeah, my oldest son aced it out. My I think my youngest daughter, she got a 28, and my baby got a 28. So yeah.
So since you definitely seem really passionate about these resources and trying to not just, like you said, do the, I don't want to call it like a cookie cutter routine with the homeschooling, but just like trying to make it tailored to, you know, your children and your family. Do you think you want to put together like some type of resources that could help us, like similar to your cookbook, that could help sisters, you know, direct them?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very passionate about homeschool. I believe in it. My husband at first was like, you sure about this? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, it's all you. I'm like, no, it's all us. I said, these are our kids. So, you know, and there were some subjects I was like, what would you, you know, what do you want? You see the kids, what do you want them to learn? And he's like, well, I want them to, you know, do more, because my husband's an excellent writer. His handwriting is phenomenal. So he would actually teach a class on that. And I was like, look, you're teaching. And he was like, do you think they learned? I'm like, we'll see. Because I did tests like every Friday. And I worked on a sort of Sabbath. I did 7 weeks on, no, 6 weeks on, 1 week off. 6 weeks on, 1 week off. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to not wait till the end of the semester to find out what they didn't learn.
That makes sense.
Because if you wait till December to find out what they didn't know back in, let's say, September, well, they've been struggling since September.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So
well, you know what? You were going into my next question for you. You do a lot. You do the cooking, you do the catering, homeschooling. So, you know, a lot of sisters are wondering, because this Erica definitely has a Lord. She has a husband.
Yeah.
So how do you maintain doing all of this stuff, sister, and being a great, awesome wife that you are to your Lord?
He is really laid back compared to me. If anybody's been on his Facebook page, he don't post, but maybe once in a blue moon if he has something to say. But he's very extremely laid back, which makes it easy because I'm able to, you know, shift around without any large demands. But like he's taking me away this weekend. He's like, no phone, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, so I'm letting everybody know, look, I'm not gonna be available.
Right.
We're leaving tomorrow. So it's like when he speaks, I'm like, yes, sir, let's do it. Yes, sir. So and then he's also has his own business that he's starting up. So yeah, he's been busy doing that. But yeah, he's my rock. He's, you know, my soft place to land when I'm struggling or overthinking something. He said, hey, you're overthinking it. Just do it. You know, so I appreciate him more than anything.
Oh, that's so sweet. I am loving it. So sisters, I want to give her a chance to drop some of her business links and stuff like that. We're not going nowhere right this second, but before I forget, because again, the catering business, her cookbook, you got to get it to understand what we mean. It's kind of like when you have those books like Windows for Dummies or Microsoft, you know, like for me, it's vegan for dummies because I had no clue what I was doing, sis. So go ahead and drop some links so they can go ahead and take a look at all of these goodies that you have.
Okay. So my cookbook, which I thought I had over here, is somewhere. It includes. Oh, here it is. So my cookbook, which is Bereshit 129 Vegan Plant-Based Cuisines. This is actually volume 1. We're working on volume 2, 3, and 4. trying to get them out before Malia's food truck is delivered, because I won't have time to do anything.
You can't go past that. She getting the food truck then.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, we've been asked to do a brick and mortar, and that's, to me, that's a little more expensive. And I like to crawl before I walk. I want to make sure, like I told you, that order and make sure that everything's lined up. I don't like to just jump into stuff. So I want to make sure we have all of our plans down, how we serve and all of that, before we go and get a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So,
those food trucks are a really good start just with building, like just getting the buzz out. I remember, when I was on the plantation, quote unquote, and we had, it was a food truck. I'm just gonna say this really brief. It was a food truck, and don't you know, we had like 5 floors in my building. Everybody in that floor, like come lunchtime, the line was wrapped around the corner. They was really getting their business out there by just being in one location. So I'm just saying, I'll praise for that idea, because there's so many benefits to starting off that way.
Oh yeah, and where we live, there's we've done the research. So there's like 65,000 families in the town where I live. Adjacent towns, there's about another 125,000 vegan families. And there is one vegan restaurant in this whole area that I live in. I live in the West Valley.
She's not just rushing out there. She is diligently doing her research so she can make sure that she succeeds with the blessings that Most High has given her.
Yeah.
That is so wonderful, sis. Oh my gosh. It's so informative.
I want to ask what tips you would give to inspiring entrepreneurs. But everything that you're saying now, like that is like, even without you even saying it, just like what Sister Elliot is saying, just the planning process. I think a lot of times we don't understand how important that planning process is. Like we just want to jump in and do something. Like don't sit and plan. So I think that's very powerful.
Yeah, and we have we did a business plan for our food truck, so we're actually able to see how much we're looking at making within 5 years in this area. We went and researched the demographics, the need. We also did a survey of the need in the area. So there's different stuff, and then we also plan on doing like a pop-up where we give away samples before the food truck is ready. So,
and cheese and lemon, right? By the way, right? Just label the cheese things, label our stuff, and put it to the side.
Yeah, so we're putting a lot of planning into it because we want to succeed. I don't want my daughter to just waste away. And I also get on her a lot of times. I'm like, look, that was okay, but we can do better next time, can't we? So making sure she has her recipes down pat, because our plan is to have about 10 food trucks. Well, she's going to have to hire people. And I don't want any mistakes being made with you hiring people because you don't have that recipe down pat to a T. So I'm really hard on her with that, because this is what we want to, give out to the world, that we are top notch. We're not just a fly by night. We're not just here to get your money, because that was the whole purpose of us doing the book first. Yeah. Because I could have opened a restaurant, but would that really serve what the Most High wanted me to do? Because when you don't have money, like a lot of people have not had due to COVID, what are you going to revert back to? So I wanted to put this in your hand so that you would be able to, make good decisions when you go grocery shopping. We even gave several of them away, and I also did consultations and gave away gift cards to get people started on this, because this is really what we're passionate about.
Just put your book back in the camera. Let the sisters see your book.
And again, y'all, if she has a Facebook group where she does do live videos, and her daughter, like they do it together, but she definitely pushes her out there to do her own live videos, her own tutorials, getting her ready to do these steps on her own. But it also helps us reading the book is one thing. It's definitely good to have that step-by-step instruction, but the hands on the visual It's always good to join one of her classes if you have a chance to. Again, she has her information. We'll be dropping the link in this live as well.
And also check out our also check out our YouTube page. We started that about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So every Sunday we drop a video on how to make different stuff. Like we did Passover, unleavened bread. We did pizza that you can make that's just 2 ingredients, like just simple stuff. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. This week I'm gonna do a video on how to properly work with your jackfruit, and also a walnut meat video. So that way you guys, have that, and to show you 2 entrees that you can make with those items. So we just try to, help as much as possible, but we would love feedback from you guys. If you have any ideas that you want of something that you normally eat that you would like us to veganize, we do those all the time, and we don't mind doing those.
Well, I have a suggestion. I want what you call those tacos, the ones that they make with the jackfruit now, but it was the
jackfruit barrillas.
There we go. Yes, honey. Yes, ma'am. Please do one of those. I will be front and center.
Well, I'll see if Chef Miriam wants to do that this week, because jackfruit is one of the items that we're doing. So yeah. Because I was trying to figure out, like, okay, what can I make with this? My son wants me to make potato turby, so I'm gonna use that with the walnuts and make walnut meat with that, so we can use that for the jackfruit.
That sounds so good. What is your YouTube? I'm gonna put your YouTube in the chat for the sisters. What's your YouTube name?
Bereshit 129.
Okay.
Just put a space between the 129 and Bereshit. Yeah, and we upload videos there. I'm also coming out with a commercial. So yes, I'm always doing something to get more people. Because I hear all the time, oh, I didn't know you had a cookbook, and I'm like, how?
Right, like it's been around forever. Yeah, definitely. They're gonna know after today for sure. Oh, also, Sister Erica will be at She's in Atlanta. She'll be here in less than 10 days. So if you want to meet her live and in person, all of those who do have tickets that are coming to 425 She's in Atlanta, She's Fresh, you will be meeting Sis Erica live in the flesh, live in the spirit, live in person.
And Chef Miriam will be there with me.
Oh, I'm going to meet my niece.
I already told her, I said, be ready for the hug.
So we can ask, if we have any tips or any questions and stuff, we can ask for y'all. I know she's not here for that, but we're going to slide it in.
But yeah, I told her, I said, be
ready. Oh, praises.
But if this is, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna just say, this is the time to drop your questions in the chat for Sister. Sister Kanai did, I think maybe she missed this part of it, but she did ask what inspired you to go vegan and also to do cookbook, which I know you did touch on. But if you wanted to answer that question, or Sister could go back and watch the video. She gonna get that. Sis, that won't be.
Once you can get the cookbook, it's in the cookbook as well.
Okay, that's a plug to your answer. Grab the cookbook. The link is in the chat. You will get your answer in the cookbook.
Yeah, but it's
good. But I'll drop your questions in the chat. Oh, go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
Who was that asking? I know that ain't who I think it was.
Oh, Sis Kanai was
asking. Got what else we were gonna be eating. And it's just been instrumental. My daughter, when she turned 18, you know how they get.
No. That's all right. That's
Well,
right. I guess she must just want to test it. But you know, sometimes children got learn, they might just want to test it for themselves. Like, is this really the reason?
Right.
All praise. All praise. So it doesn't look like I'm not seeing any questions from the sisters. So, you know, we don't want to keep you too long. Sis, if you could just drive, what would be your final words? Or did you have a question?
That was my question. What would be your final words, like y'all said, for a sister upcoming in the truth who was trying to get on the same page, whether it be vegan, whether it be starting her business, homeschooling, just giving them that push that they need so they can stop that little, discouragement in the back of their head.
I would just say do some meditation. Don't force stuff. Don't be emotional. A lot of times we're very emotional and we miss a lot of things that way. And just listen for the Most High. He will direct you. I mean, I grew a whole business based off of listening to the Most High. And just being obedient, because he's not going to steer you wrong. You just have to be patient also, because, a lot of times things weren't happening as fast as I wanted them to. And I'm like, and my husband's like, did you go to the Most High and pray about that? And I'm like, no. He's talking about, well, that's what you need to do. So he was always having a good sounding board to, reiterate what the Most High told you, and just trust that he's going to bring it through to fruition, because this was talked about 5 years ago at a dining room table.
Wow.
This business. And we didn't know that. I was like, I have no clue how to start no business. I don't even know the first thing. And it just started lining up. I had a sister that knew how to form the business, so she helped me form the business that way. Then I had another sister that knew how to, create a cookbook that, and it just all fell into place. And it was because we were just being steady. Yeah. But it was like people that I've seen, but I didn't really connect with, like they weren't part of my everyday life. But when I went to the Most High and I said, look, I'm looking for this, it was like within a day or two, just out of the blue, I would see her. She would like a post on my page and I'd be like, hey, didn't you say that you did, And it was just, and it all just flowed. So just be patient. There's help out there. You do have sisters and brothers that will not charge. Like, I don't charge people to help them create, build their business credit. I just tell them what they need to do, what worked for me and what didn't. And there are sisters and brothers like me that will help you. You just have to be patient. Don't go with the first denial that you got. Just be like, okay, and keep it moving. You have to learn to keep it moving.
I can definitely testify to you being helpful. As far as like even the funding and grant information and those loan information that you have came across. She even put it out there, who needs help, who wants it. She sent it to us just like that, told us how to do, like sis she's not just talking. She's definitely about action. What they say, know by their fruit. Her fruit speaks volumes. So we are definitely, again, honored to have you up here, sis. Thank you so much, so much, so much. We need to rewind this live back, honey, because it's some
everybody just needs to do it. And everybody just needs to do it. Just do it, because our community needs everybody. Everybody has a purpose, and we need you. So what are you waiting on? There's money out there to be made. There's money to help you do what you need to do. Just do it. I love you too.
But yeah, as she said, get your funding and find your purpose. Everybody's purpose is the same. Let's just put that out there. You know, but we all need to find our purpose so we can go ahead and start mending these, you know,
generational curses.
Yes.
Our praises.
We all we got. Like now say, we all we got. So until we realize that and actually work together, because like even though Beresheet is in Arizona, I can't service everybody all over the United States. I mean, I probably could years from now, but not right now. So it's like our people need help now. So even if you're in vegan, I'm not your competition. We're not competing. If you need help and you are a vegan and you want to help with a cookbook or starting your business, call me, contact me. My information is on my website. Call me and I will be right there to help you get your business off the ground.
And that competition thing, that's beautiful because we are definitely not here to compete with each other, but help each other grow and build. I love how you and Sis Kayla, who we had on last SheListens, both of them are vegans and oh my God, they give each other advice.
I love her. I love her. I've gotten herbs from her. I mean, that's my sister. That's my rock. I love her. Yes.
Oh, praise. So we're big on sisterhood. We're not just talking about it here. Yep. We're definitely big on it. So all praises for that. All praises.
And sis, if the Most High put it on your spirit to bring a good vegan dish,
maybe on tacos.
I think I've been told to bring Rice Krispie treats and cinnamon rolls so far.
Okay, well then we good then. We good. Well, thanks again, sis. Thank you again for joining us. Again, we will be dropping her link inside this live. Check her out whenever you get a chance to. And hit her up. Like she said, if you have any questions on business, vegan, even homeschool related issues.
Yep.
He's there.
Yes. Thank you. And this won't be the last time we're going to ask you to come on. You know?
I'm going to try to get Malia to get on here one of these times. Yeah, because she's taking over cooking the classes and everything. She's even doing the kids' classes now. So
I was gonna thank you for sending me because I was gonna sneak. I tried to sneak in the kids. I said, "Oh, that's my alley right there."
Yep. Yeah, she's teaching little kids, and she's giving them a hat and an apron and a chef set to go with it. Yeah. She wants them to feel like, she's like, they need to look the part so they can really feel it and really learn. And she said, because she's been cooking since she was, right next to me in the kitchen. She said, that's where I learned. And that's what she wants to teach kids. So she's very.
We have some workshops coming up. And she may be definitely good for the kids, like a little workshop that we are going to touch base with you on that a little bit further, a little bit further down the line. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So it gives her more experience, and it's virtual. She'll have a big classroom. We'll talk about that, but that's
oh yeah, she would love that. Love it.
All right, sis. Well, again, we love you. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Did y'all get those jewels? Oh, my gosh. I have chills. Because my little one, I'm homeschooling one that's trying to go, well, Lord, you see me. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I don't have no kids yet, but I'll pray to know what you have them. You train up child, and be training to train them. So all praises. I appreciate them nuggets and gems that sis dropped that. Drop some topics in the chat. Let us know. We are looking for someone for next month, so we're trying to do it once a month.
Yeah, once a month. Next month we have a couple of good candidates. Okay. But we definitely want more sisters to come in because we want to switch it up. We want to touch base on all the topics that you all have interest in. Like Sis Yanni said, let us know what's on your mind. What do you want to hear about? Who would you like to hear from? If you have some sisters that you want us to interview, let us know. Point them in our direction. We definitely want to get them on the screen and get some good edification.
Yeah. And just don't think, I just want to throw this out here too, don't think your journey is insignificant or anything like that. If the Most High has put some on your spirit and you feel like, hey, I really think that this will help another sister, share it. If you are in that space, because sometimes it takes a minute, to really get in that head space and to really get in that place of I'm ready to share my walk. So, but if you are in that space, definitely email Shesecretary@gmail.com. Sis Elisheba will be responding to you, and we'll look after that.
But yeah, like she said, don't ever think that your journey is not significant enough. We want to hear from everybody. Single sisters, with children, without children, married, those, especially those, we want to touch on family issues as well. How it hasn't been coming into the truth, and you have a family that's like totally against it.
Yeah.
So if someone has a testimony to share on that, please definitely reach out to us as well. But until then,
peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. And we hope we see a lot of y'all at the She branch as well. Our links. Facebook pages, we have SheListens. You're in the group right now. Thank you for joining us. We do have the She, like the regular She's page. That is the foundation of us all. You can find us at www.don'tdeletemesis.com. There you can get all the little nuggets, you can get updates, you can get any type of links or information that you do need about the She team, the She organization, the events that we have coming up, how to contribute or donate to the ministry, all of those type of things. We do have our Cash App information plugged in into the group, and She Speaks is our YouTube channel where you will find SheListens, the playback.
My beloved sister just gave you a lot of information. We're going to drop them links in the chat.
Oh, and our producer, because we have our lovely sister, Iggy. She did remind us we also have our She Dress page.
Yeah.
If you want to donate, you can donate skirts. Yeah, you can donate. She's scared to come in front of the camera, guys. Y'all know Sister Iggy. But you can donate skirts, you can donate fridges. Come on, man. This is who works behind the camera. This is our sister Iggy. This is actually our She production team right here. All praises. All praises.
When you see her looking over the side, that's who we look at.
That's who we look at. She keeps us in order. She keeps everything running smoothly while looking beautiful, as we should say. But definitely donate. Come and make sure that you check us out. See what the She team is doing. We always are trying to contribute that to our system.
All praises, all praises. And when we're speaking about donations, y'all, we're not talking about just monetary. If you have head wraps, if you have, clothes that you have may have overgrown, whatever the case is, whatever you have overgrown, it's a perfect fit for somebody else, right? So, the Most High place it on your spirit, please email us. Links will be below. Everybody that has watched this live is in SheListens. So everything is accessible in the chat within itself. So we'll definitely make sure that information is out there.
And one more thing, I told you she keep us in line. One more thing, if you want to sponsor or if you want to have your business on SheListens, because it is growing, it's growing every single day, make sure that you inbox us as well. You can get your products featured. We will have your products in the background. We will go ahead and plug it in as well into the chat, as well as us saying it verbally on SheListens, and of course it will be on the replays that's on our She Speaks YouTube page as well.
Absolutely.
And we might also plug them in other places, but just let us know if you want to, sponsor SheListens as well.
I'll praise it. So we're not gonna hold y'all too long. If you did not catch this live, you're gonna have to watch the replay. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Shalom.